Hello, and welcome to the BYU Family History webinar series. I'm Marin, and I'll be your host for this webinar. In the way of announcements, our next webinar will be with Catherine Grant. That will be on Wednesday, the 13th. Catherine will be doing a live demo of a successful discovery experience. So if you are looking to plan a successful discovery experience with someone that doesn't have much exposure to family history, be sure to catch that webinar. So that'll be Wednesday at 1:30 Mountain Time. So that's not the usual time. So just make sure that you mark your calendars for that. That'll be a really great webinar. And then following that, on Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, we'll be hearing from Tina, and she's giving a presentation on the Utah Digital Newspapers Project. So that'll be the 14th, Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Today, we'll be hearing from James Tanner, and he's giving a presentation on the FamilySearch Family Tree App, as well as the Memories app as a companion to that specific app. James has had over 32 years of experience in the genealogical research field and is an avid blogger of Genealogy Star blog, and rejoice and be exceeding glad. He has served for 10 years as a missionary at the Mesa, Arizona Family Search Library, and is currently serving at the BYU Family History Library. He's presented at expos and conferences around the US and Canada. He has 7 children and 34 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. If you have any technical difficulties during the presentation with audio or visual, make sure you use the chat box and I'll help you out with that. You're welcome to email as well if you have any other problems. Our email is fhl_webinars@byu.edu. A recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube page and on our website. And I've also added a PDF of this presentation to help you out as well. You're welcome to use the chat box if you have any comments, but make sure you hold all of your questions to the end. We will have a Q&A at the end of the presentation. I think that's all for announcements, and we'll turn the time over to James. So that will take just a second. If you could wait patiently, that would be appreciated.
Howdy, this is James Tanner. Nice to have you here today. We're going to be talking about discovering the FamilySearch Family Tree App, and as a bonus, I am throwing in some explanations about the FamilySearch Memories app. This is particularly appropriate since this past week there was a presentation by 3 of the apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the topic was emphasizing the importance of using the app on smartphones. And why is that the case? Well, it's pretty easy to understand once you get to look at some of the numbers. The number of smartphones in the world as of 2017 was 2.71 billion smartphones. And there are, at the same time, I looked it up, the number was changing, but I captured 7.7 billion people in the world, and another 1.3 billion were sold in 2017. And there will be probably that many in 2018. And you can see that pretty soon every man, woman, and child in the whole on Earth will have their own smartphone. There we go. Okay. I was just talking about the number of smartphones in the universe, or at least on the Earth. And these, and this is the reason is that access to many of the programs that are being presented by almost everybody, not just the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but other organizations and commercial software, is basically going to move to smartphones, which will also work. Most of the programs will work in the same on tablets or iPads or any of the other limited computer products out there. So because that's the great emphasis, and because there are so many, a potential for many, it was very, we didn't know that there would be that kind of an emphasis when we planned to present this, but that was, it turned out to be appropriate for the time. FamilySearch, Family Tree, and Memories apps are programs that run on either Android or iOS, Apple's iOS operating systems. So when you get a smartphone, which is kind of a generic term for phones that look like iPhones or Samsung or any of the other phones out there, these phones have something in common. The reason they're called smartphones is because they can connect to the internet and they can run internet-based applications. Those are what apps are, applications or programs. So what you have when you get onto a smartphone is a direct connection to the internet and or through a Wi-Fi connection if you're using a kind of a secondary off of someone's server. And these connections are in many cases part of, if you're using Wi-Fi, then it can be free. So you could go to a public library and even into some fast food places, lots of places around the world now that have what essentially is free Wi-Fi. If you've checked into a hotel or whatever recently, you'll find out that almost every hotel, at least in the United States and many of them in other countries, advertise free Wi-Fi. Well, free only in the sense that you pay for a room, or free in the sense that you pay your taxes and have somebody that will supply a Wi-Fi connection. There are actually towns in the United States that are planning to have free Wi-Fi to all of their residents. So this is becoming something that is almost universally available. There are plans to extend the internet around the world in all of the countries of the world. There's several different plans of putting up satellites or stationary balloons or things like that that they can use for broadcasting signals to wide areas of the world where there's not yet internet connections. So understanding this and understanding the numbers, these apps or these applications are basically becoming the wave of the future. They have some obvious limitations, and one of the limitations for those of us who are in the older category is that the little tiny letters on them are very hard to read. And the second limitation is that the little buttons to push to type on these are extremely difficult. However, there are a number of people living in the world today who can do what is called thumb typing, and they can type almost as fast as a regular typist on a regular keyboard. So depending on your age and your orientation as far as electronics and technology, and also your propensity to pick up new things, this is either something that will be a challenge or something that is just amazingly simple and you can do it immediately. So there's a wide range of possibilities. In this particular case, these particular apps are free from FamilySearch, and that's really free. There aren't any other higher levels for more money or whatever. There's nothing, no charges whatsoever. And they are extremely sophisticated applications. The Family Tree application, which works separately from the Memories application or Memories app, covers about 80% of all of the functions that are on a desktop or a laptop computer using FamilySearch.org, the FamilySearch.org website. You also have the option of using the FamilySearch.org website on your smartphone. if you can connect to one of the, through a browser to the internet. Probably the most common in this case would be Chrome or Chrome browser, or if you're using an iOS device, a Safari browser, or any other of the browsers like Microsoft Edge and others. And if you're using that, then you can pull up the full-blown program from FamilySearch.org, the same exact program that runs on your desktop. And the difference is it's not formatted to work on the small device, on the smartphone. So you'll have to scroll a lot, and it is rather awkward to use. These programs for the iOS devices have been specifically designed so that they can run on the smaller screens, and they're formatted to work on those screens. And when I mentioned about the scrunchy little numbers and letters, most of the screens you can enlarge or zoom in, usually by a finger control of stretching out the images on the screen of your phone, which is something if you've been using a smartphone, you're probably familiar with. FamilySearch has a pretty large number of programs. They fall into two major categories: those developed by FamilySearch directly, and those that are partner programs and part of the global family of programs. We'll talk about where these programs are identified and available in just a moment, but it is in a place on the FamilySearch.org website called the Solutions Gallery. And we'll get to that. I'll show you where to go to get this information and where to download. So these family search programs there are quite a few of them being developed. Most of them are, in a sense, what you would call dependent programs. They depend on you having another program in order to operate effectively. And that program is usually FamilySearch.org and the Family Tree program, which is the main part of the FamilySearch.org website. So this is a challenge that the developers of the mobile devices had, was to develop devices that programs that would run on the smaller screened smartphones, and then also present all of the features that are incorporated in the larger program. This is the FamilySearch Apps Gallery. Excuse my cough. A little bit of holdover from attending Roots Tech last week. After shaking hands with about 1,000 people, I think I caught a little bit of a cold. The FamilySearch Apps Gallery is actually available at the bottom of the pages on FamilySearch. So if you scroll down, once you arrive at the beginning or startup page, the first page you come to, if you scroll down clear to the bottom, you'll see a menu of items, and one of those is going to be the Solutions Gallery. And then you will be connected up to this particular part of the FamilySearch.org website. So what you see is a whole list of different apps, that is programs, that are designed to run on your desktop computer or on iOS or Android devices. And so you can scroll down through here. There are presently 82 items in this Solutions Gallery. And it is each of those items has, some of them are commercial items, which require a subscription. Some of them are programs that you just buy once and then upgrade when they get an upgrade, and others are on the internet. Some of the ones on the internet are subscription programs, and the others may be free. They're all clearly marked on the entries on the Solutions Gallery as to which type of program, whether there's any charge for using the program. So to get these items. The link is, and once again, to repeat, the link is at the bottom of the Family Search startup pages. You'll find it by scrolling clear down. They're both for iOS and Android. Now there'll be separate apps for each of these. There's not an app has to be designed to run on that particular operating system. So it's either an iOS or an Android device. Now we're at the Family Tree app section. The Family Search, this is this page, and you'll see down below at the bottom of the page, there's two black squares or rectangles, and those rectangles are connections to the App Store or the Google Play Store, where you can download copies of the Family History and the Family Search Family Tree program or the Family Search Memories program. They're both on the App Store and the Google Play. Okay, now one of the things that I would suggest is that when you are, if you try to go directly to either the App Store or Google Play Store, you may find some difficulty in locating, just by doing a search, of locating among the thousands and thousands of apps. So I would suggest going to FamilySearch.org and clicking on the bottom of the page in the solutions gallery and going there directly, because that'll save you some trouble looking for these apps online. The first thing you'll find out about the app when you open it is that even before you register or sign in like you do with FamilySearch.org, by the way, the login and sign in for the apps is the same as your login for the churchofjesuschrist.org, which is the new name of LDS.org website. And it's also the same as your Family Search login and password. So you can go use the same, they'll just be asking for a password to log in. But even before you have a password to log in, you can see what the family tree knows about an ancestor without signing in. And this will, and then in addition to the Family Search Family Tree app, there is a Family Search Memories app that has that is also a part of the original program of FamilySearch.org. There is a Memories section, and the Memories app actually connects directly to that section of FamilySearch.org and displays all of the photographs that are available and other items. There's quite a different, they're about the same. It's exactly the same, except on the smaller screen. So all of the photos that you've uploaded or any documents that you've uploaded or anything else that's there will be available to you in the Family Search on the app, just as they are above. And there's some other advantages that I'll go into in just a while. Now, here's how to access the app. First of all, for the one that's in the App Store, so you go to the Apple App Store, which is you could look for online and go directly to the App Store. There is a connection on, if you're on the FamilySearch.org website or on your browser, on a Chrome browser or whatever, on your desktop computer, and you go up to the App Store in the upper right-hand corner, that's where you might find difficulty, because those are generally applications, programs for desktop computers and not for the mobile devices. So you need to go to the portion of the App Store where they have the mobile devices for iOS operating systems. And you can download those from your iPhone or your iPad, all of the different iterations of both. So basically it's just a quick download, and then you're ready to use the program. But what I was recommending a moment ago, and we'll reiterate here, is that we use the links from the FamilySearch.org app gallery, because they're simpler. They go directly to the applications. So here's what Google Play looks like when you do a search for Family Search. So you have the apps right there, the Tree app and the Memory app. There's also a few other programs there that you might be interested in. And so on Google Play, you go search for Family Search, and that works. And it will bring you to the apps that are for Family Search. And then you can download and use the links from, or you can use the links from the FamilySearch.org app gallery. So either way, you're going to get the same program and be able to download it to your device. Now, if you have a Chromebook, the problem here is that you're running the Chrome operating system, which is the operating system from Google. And so your Chromebooks are going to have to be those Chromebooks that work with Google Play. So I would suggest that you check your programs before you download to see that you have that kind of a connection. If you do, you can use the FamilySearch.org app gallery.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. James is just having some physical difficulties instead of technical difficulties. We have two options. I am pretty familiar with the Family Search app and the Memories app as well. So I can finish the rest of the webinar for you along with James' presentation. It looks like we have a few more comments about continuing. I'm not James Tanner, but I do have a lot of experience with the apps. So I'll just follow James's presentation. Like James was saying, you can get on your device, whether it's an iPad or whether that's a phone. And if you have an Android device or a Chromebook, you go to Google Play. You search for Family Search and it'll pop up, and then you just click on it and download it. And if that doesn't work, you can use those links from the Family Search app gallery, just like James was talking about. In the post with the recording that I will put on the website later, as well as the YouTube recording of this webinar, I will put all of the links that are mentioned in this webinar, so you just can click on those and access these apps and this information. So like James was saying, with a Chromebook, you'll have to specifically go into Google Play and use the app specific to that. And you also can use the Family Search app gallery for those links as well. And for Kindle and Amazon Fire tablets, you can use the Google Play app to access the Family Search tree and the Family Search memories. Then again, you can either search Family Search or in the Google Play app, or you can just go ahead and on the FamilySearch.org app gallery, click on the links, and that'll direct you to where you need to go. So here we are in Family Search iOS for the iPhone and the iPad. And this is what it looks like. So you've got the pedigree, and if you look towards the end of the screen, you've got the tree, you've got tasks, you've got temple, recents, and more, which gives you some more options. So you can connect with your ancestors. You can see your family tree. You can see pictures of the people that you're looking at. You can, if you're sitting down with your family, you can pull up your phone and you can say, this is what your great-great-great-grandmother looks like, or something like that. Sometimes when I'm with friends and I'm talking about where my name comes from, I pull up my app and I show them a picture of the ancestor that I was named after, because my name comes from Denmark and I was named after my ancestor. So that's one of the benefits of just having it right there on your phone. So the next app is the Memories app by Family Search. And it looks like this is the Android version on here that James has pictures of. So it looks exactly, I think, if I'm pretty sure, it looks exactly the same as the Apple version. There shouldn't be much of a change in there. Just from what James has in his slides, I'm sure if there's more information, Sister Tanner, James's wife, will probably type that into the chat box when I'm done talking, but For now, you're just getting the basic overview of what Marin sees on the screen, and based on my own experience. So we've got in the bottom of the screenshot of the app, you've got My Memories. So whatever you've put on there, if you've scanned specific memories, like if you've taken a picture of a tombstone and you've uploaded that, that'll be on there. Whatever you've added yourself will be in that My Memories section of the app. So you can share your discoveries with people who also have the app, I would think. And you can add those pictures from your phone directly. So if you're in a cemetery and you take a picture of a gravestone, you can directly add that using this little green circle with the plus. And so the next screen that James has is of the family tree of the pedigree. If you're familiar with the FamilySearch website, it's just like the app version. So you can view and edit your part of the family tree. And you just go ahead and click on that person. You can add people, and it pulls up a form for that. So you put in their names, and you can click to find a person, and you can search their name to find it. So this is what the person page looks like in the app. Looks like we have Joseph here. You can see his name, his birth, all of his vital records, and information. And then on the top, you have separate tabs. So you can look at his spouses, his parents. You can look at the sources that have been linked to him. You can look at the memories that have been linked to Joseph. So if there's pictures of Joseph or pictures of his tombstone, etc., if anybody's linked that with Joseph, then you'll be able to see whatever they've added for Joseph. So you can view and edit individuals and families in this specific page. And you can add and find sources. You can click on this green plus sign to find records. And this is what it pulls up. So you can search records, you can add a source with a web page, you can add a source with a photo by clicking on that little green plus. You can search records in FamilySearch, in Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past. So if we clicked on FamilySearch, then this is what it would pull up. It's just a more cramped version of the website. And so you can kind of scroll down and access the different records. And if we clicked on one of the, let's see, if we clicked on one of the people, this is what would pull up for specific people in that records section. Oh, it looks like this is the mobile version of FamilySearch Family Tree Lite. So let's say you don't have the app, but you like log in on your phone or on your iPad just through a browser. This is what it would look like. So it's just like a minimalist version of the websites. They've like subtracted a lot of things, so it's a little bit easier to navigate. And then I think we're going back to, let's see. Yeah, so that's the website. And then this is back to FamilySearch Memories. And like I was saying, you can add those memories right from your phone. You could add a document, like like, for example, if you had a PDF of your family history that you've been writing or something like that, and you wanted to add a document, then you'd click on add document and that would add that. Or you can type up something and write a story, and that's the next one. Or you can record audio. I really like this one because when I was on my mission, I was serving in Japan and I had an iPad and I had access to Family Search Memories and the Family Search Tree app. And every night, or okay, not every night because I was a missionary serving for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but I would record a diary entry using the Memories app. I would talk about how my day went, and now I can go back and listen to those audio recordings and share those with my family. And of course, you can add photos using that as well. So this red box is where all of those options are. And those photos are uploaded directly to Memories. And like I said, there's you can add text, you can add audio, and you can add documents. Another really cool feature of the FamilySearch Family Tree app is find relatives around me. So if you go to the bottom where it has all the different sections, so it has tree, it has tasks, it has temple, it has recents. The very last icon with the little 3 dots, more, that's where you're going to find relatives around me. So you open that up and you click scan for friends. And I guess when James did this, he was next to his wife. So it looks like he found his wife and he pulled it up and he clicked on her name and it shows the relationship between him and his wife, which is really cool because like if you're at Fruits Tech and a bunch of people have the app, you can pull it up and you can see how people are related to you. So that's a really cool feature. Another cool feature on here is the Map My Ancestors, and it shows you where all of your ancestors, I guess where some of their vital events happened. So if you click on one, if you click on one of the little icons with the pictures on it, it pulls you up to the specific spot where that vital event happened. So looks like James has Karen Marie Johansson, and she was buried in Brigham City, Arizona. So you can specifically see where she was buried. That's really cool. Another thing is the Family Search activities that they have. I believe this is more recent as of late. Sorry, I'll correct myself. That was family history activities that Family Search has added. And if I remember correctly, I think you can access this on their website, whether you're on a phone or on an iPad or something like that. So they have a bunch of different activities that they've added. So that would be really fun to check out. So all of those are new, those activities. I personally haven't looked into it, but something interesting to look into. So the last thing on the slide is something that James wanted to share with everyone, which is the photo scan. This is it's the Google photo scan. It's free from Google to use. And what you do is like when you're taking a picture of a picture, you can, on your phone, you can drag where the corners of the picture are. And when you snap it, like to take the picture, it straightens out the photo. So you also can access that, download that on Google Play and on the App Store. And then you have those photos, and they are scanned and they upload directly into your Google Photos. And that is a free application. So that is the end of my talking. So I thank you for sitting with me and listening to me. I'm not usually the presenter here, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to enter those into the chat box, and I'll see if I can answer any questions. And if anybody has anything to add, that would be great as well. If there aren't any questions, I just wanted to end the webinar by encouraging everyone to go ahead and explore that app. I've learned that the more that you click around, the more that you explore the different features, the more comfortable you get using it. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to ask other people who use the app as well. You might realize that someone does something different on the app that you didn't even know about. So just go ahead and share what you find with other people, and enjoy the experience. It looks like we have a comment from the username Patron. They said, "I've used the Memory app to record from another audio format. It worked very well." That's really cool. There are a lot of possibilities with the Memories app, to not only add past memories, but to record the memories that you're creating now. So I just encourage everyone to think about the tools that they've been given to connect with their past and to connect with their present. We're really lucky to live in this day and time where we have so many tools to really connect with people. I think that's all the comments and announcements from the viewers and from me. I'll go ahead and move over to the closing screen. And I'll just pull that up really quick. Next webinar is going to be on the 13th, and that'll be with Catherine Grant. Like I said before at the beginning of the presentation, Catherine Grant is giving a live demo of a discovery experience on FamilySearch Family Tree. So there will be 3 people here at the BYU Library, and we will be doing a live demo of first how to plan for that discovery experience, how Catherine specifically prepared for our volunteer. And then we'll have our volunteer come in, and it'll be a 3-way, well, more like a 2-way. I won't be talking during the experience, but you'll get a experience with them, this interaction, this discovery of looking at someone else's family history. Hopefully that'll be really insightful, and will give you some ideas of how you can help other people connect with their past and their present. Following that, on the 14th, we'll be hearing from Tina Kirkham, and she will be giving a presentation on the Utah Digital Newspapers Project. So that will be Thursday at 3 p.m. regular time. The Wednesday webinar on the 13th is at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's a little bit different. And don't worry, if you can't make it on Wednesday or on Thursday, all of these webinars are recorded and they are posted on our YouTube channel and on our website so that you have access to them later. It takes a little bit of time to edit those videos and make them accessible after the live webinar. So this webinar will be posted on Monday, most likely. Thank you, everyone, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, you're welcome to email me at fhl_webinars@byu.edu. And don't forget to check out this recording. It will be on our YouTube page and on our website. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend.